pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Consideration of the minutes of the regular board meeting for December 11th. Make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Grums, second by Snoblin. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passed. Chief's report. John is not here. He was unable to make it. He had to work, so we're going to pass on the Chief's report until next month. We'll hold off on number 5 unless we need to delve into that. Public comment. We allow 5 minutes per person to address the board on issues that are not on the agenda. Anybody have any public comment?
Yeah. At Whitehead, Norwood. I'm confused why, referring back to the accident that occurred that you guys addressed last month and you're writing the lady a check, why the board felt the need to be involved in that. You pay a company in excess of $20,000 a year to handle that for you, and that is all they do, is settle insurance claims. But you second guessed what they did. I'm very confused by that. In fact, you second guessed what 2 companies did, because her own company had not reached out for any type of subrogation activity, yet you directed your attorney to do another investigation. It's really confusing. I mean, am I missing something? Is this board more educated on insurance law than the company you pay tens of thousands of dollars to? It's just very confusing, Dan. It really is. Why you would second guess your own company. If they denied her claim, there was a reason for it, a legal reason for it. But you told them they were wrong, and then they were still waiting to hear from her company, which could have opened the door a second time, which they had not, which I have to assume at this point that her company agreed that there was no basis for a claim there. But yet I see in your agenda you've paid her or you're going to pay her money. It's confusing. I know you're not going to respond to anything, but I have to wonder why you would go that far for this person. Is it a connection to yourselves or to the Republican Party, to your politic friends? What is it? Why would you not let the wheels run?
Okay, anybody else have a comment? All right. As we've said before, we get here at 6 o'clock, and if there's questions you want to ask us that you'd like answers to, the trustees are certainly happy to try to answer public's questions. We stayed after last meeting, actually, and spoke with Mrs. Netzer and Mrs. Issel. And because it came up, Mrs. Netzer, I'd like to give you a copy here. I was concerned about what you had mentioned. Where did she go? Oh, there you go. You were over there and then you were over there. About an ambulance call that came to your house. Yeah. So I called up the chief from Libertyville and asked him if he would look this up. And I'm going to give this to you. He redacted all the personal information, just so you know. There's nothing on here of any of the personal information. But he gave me the punch-outs on when the unit was dispatched at 20:04 and 13 seconds. It was en route at 20:05 and 27 seconds. It was at your house at 20:08 and 14 seconds, and at the patient at 20:08 and 24 seconds. And he said they went back and they came in at the same time that Knollwood came in. They came in together. So I just want to make sure that you're satisfied that Libertyville is doing what they're supposed to do, and this is the actual times. Knock on wood, I've not had such a horrible...
I wasn't questioning the time they got there. I was questioning how they left.
Okay, you said you said occasionally
They
when.
went around the neighborhood trying to find their way out, and they couldn't.
Well, again, from what and I had mentioned that to him as well, he indicated to me that when they finish a call, if they don't have something directly to respond, there are occasions when they do drive through the neighborhood to familiarize themselves after a call, when they're finished, when they've finished with a patient, and I don't believe they transported.
They had my husband in the
Okay.
ambulance and drove around the neighborhood.
Okay.
He couldn't find out.
That I'm happy to follow up with you. They say that they were en route to the hospital. Oh, thank you. En route to the hospital. Here's a copy for the other trustees as well. And if that's the case, that they didn't take him to the hospital, and you'd like me to follow up further on it, there's actually a representative from Libertyville right there. Could you follow up on that, that they
I'll
were
make a
lost
note. I'll make a
leaving
note on it.
and didn't get out?
Give the run number, just give me the run number on that call.
Bob, can you, you've read a few more of these reports than I have.
17-4017?
17-40.
17.
And it looks to me like they were at the hospital in like 9 minutes, which is not extremely long, driving non-emergency to the
I wasn't
hospital.
questioning that. I was questioning, why didn't they know their way around? Don't they check on the neighborhood and
Mhm.
find out where, when a call comes in, where to find? Lake Forest, I never had any trouble with.
Well, this
They
gentleman's
took
gonna
us
get an
right
answer
there.
to your, this gentleman's gonna get an answer to your question.
They should research the neighborhood.
Mrs. Netzer, would you like him to contact you direct as an answer to that, or would you like it to come back to the board?
No, he can contact me directly.
Okay,
I'll get your
would
information.
you get her information?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Okay, attorney's report.
I have nothing other than the items that are on the agenda.
Okay, number 8, we need to ratify the motor vehicle accident agreement of October 14th.
I'll make a motion to ratify the motor vehicle accident agreement.
Do I have a second?
First, just a question.
Sure.
Did we have to amend that because of the little additional that, or?
John?
I didn't get the impression that I did.
I don't think you had the amounts in the initial agreement.
I don't recall.
If the amounts weren't in there, there's no reason to amend it.
That makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, since we're dealing with some money here, let's do a roll call vote. Trustee Snowman?
Aye.
Trustee Grum?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers? Aye. Resolution 2018-01, adopting the sexual harassment policy, discussion and action.
The legislature passed on November the 17th of 2017 a new law that requires that every unit of local government, number 1, have a sexual harassment policy, and number 2, adopt that policy by ordinance or resolution prior to January 16th of 2018. Consistent with that statute, we've prepared and have before you tonight a resolution adopting a sexual harassment policy, and the sample policy is contained within that resolution.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt the 2018-01 sexual harassment policy?
I'll make the motion to adopt the 2018-01.
Second.
Motion by Snowman, second by Grum. Let's do a roll call vote. Trustee Snowman?
Aye.
Trustee Grum?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers? Aye. Our treasurer is stuck at her real job and unable to attend tonight. And Trustee Snowman has so nicely offered to do the treasurer's report.
All right. On the balance sheet, the current totals as of the end of 2017, the Lake Forest Bank Capital Fund is $36,375.60. The Lake Forest Bank checking account is $200,660.71. And the Lake Forest Bank Reserve account is $273,957.81. And the checking account is the Northern Trust account is $24,642.33 and $29.05 in petty cash, for total assets, cash assets of $535,665.50.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept
Oh, we have to do the budget tracking.
Wait, wait,
So
I'm sorry,
under-
budget.
Under that, so. on the
budget tracking? That's right.
Let's see. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 8 months, so 2/3 of the way through the year. I didn't have a chance to really examine this because I eyeballed it real quickly. Obviously, revenues are almost 100% in. The wages are right at 64%, which is good because we had the year-end bump, which, so it'll drop, actually, it'll track a little below now for the rest of the year. Wages, obviously everything else, 50%, yeah, nothing, building, lighting, that's capital outlay, that's just, we have to finish that up.
Right. I don't see anything else that jumps.
Yeah, no, whatever.
Building supplies are at 96%.
Yeah, so they should probably keep an eye on that.
Yeah, they should keep an eye on that. They've got about $200 left in building supplies, so they'll have to watch what they're doing there. Okay.
Okay. That was about that for the
Treasurer.
For the treasurer's report. So we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report in the, we don't need an amount on that.
No.
Who's the treasurer's report?
No, second.
Motion by Rogers, second by Grum. Roll call vote. Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers, aye. Trustee Grum. Aye. Okay, approval of outstanding invoices.
Okay, we have the checks to approve. We have checks in a total of $68,484.35. So there's the building loan, the phone and internet, the Visa bill, Comcast, Illinois Public Risk Fund is the workers' comp. Tammy alerted me of an issue with the building loan. In the last couple of months, they've been tacking on a $375 late charge, even though we are paying it 10 days ahead of time.
Okay.
So I gave her contact information of Steve Malota and
Get that straightened out.
yeah, get that straightened out, because something's going on there where it's not getting credited properly. So hopefully we'll see a reversal on two $375 charges there. American Gas is oxygen, Denny's Fire Control is the fire extinguishers, crude is garbage, and security is the quarterly bill for the monitoring the bill on here. There's some Bristol's lawyers and payroll. Payroll is generally detail on that for the SCBA equipment typically.
Right.
Not always. Then you've got the Visa.
On the Visa, Tito, are you able to, been able to get Tammy the coinciding receipts? Are we getting better on getting the receipts? Like for the Donati's Pizza, having the receipts, Allied Electronic, the Amazon, I know they can pull up. But the outside stuff for the Visa bill?
Yeah, we're gonna get you a check from the corporation
Okay.
to do that. So I gotta.
But I mean, like on the Gulls and the Target, just to be, we can make sure we get the receipts. Okay, thank you very much.
And then ComEd Impact Network is the contract on the printer. Wex Bank, we were having a little problem with that too. That's the fleet services, the fuel.
Yes.
Tammy had gotten the, well, she didn't get the bill from November. So in December, she paid the November bill. She got the December bill, she paid the November bill and the December bill. But apparently, they never received the check. That was paid through the bank, the bank.
The EMT.
Yeah, doing that. So I got a
CFT,
call,
excuse me.
yeah, I got a call from the chief about a week or so ago, right around the end of the year, saying that the cards were being refused. They couldn't put fuel in the vehicles. So I called them and they said, yeah, it was because we hadn't paid. So I went ahead, we had set up the ability to do an immediate push payment out of the Northern Trust account. So I went ahead and paid it out of the Northern Trust account.
the money, they're good.
Which is why I was planning to close the Northern Trust account before the end of the year, but I figured since I did that, I had to leave it open. I can probably close it this week.
Okay.
But then I, let Tammy know to watch out, to keep an eye on that other payment to see if it ever gets credited. And she sent me a note yesterday that, as far as she knows, it has not. So she's got a couple of issues to deal with the bank there. Other than that, we've got the check for the settlement, the Fire Academy for training, and then Fire Guys Enterprises. I'm not sure exactly what it is. That might be, that's usually quartermaster typically. But anyway, so that's for the total of $68,484.35.
They have a motion to approve the outstanding invoices in the amount of $68,484.35.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Grum, second by Snoblin. Roll call vote, trustee Snoblin.
Aye.
Trustee Grum.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers, aye. Station lighting update. Tito, anybody, how's the lighting going? Is the new lighting, are they continuing to put it in, or is it, have they been busy, or?
I don't know.
Don't know? Okay. We'll table that since neither of the chiefs are here. Discussion of joint service agreements with Lake Bluff. That's me. So I found out, interestingly enough, through the grapevine, that the city of Lake Forest has made a proposal for fire and EMS services to the village of Lake Bluff. It is a draft proposal, also marked confidential. I got this from the village manager of Lake Bluff, and he said to give the trustees a copy. It's still a draft form, so I don't know, John, since it's marked draft and confidential, if it's FOIA-able.
It's not subject to the FOIA as long
Okay.
as it is in fact a draft.
And it is, it's marked right on the top here from the village of Lake Bluff. So there's a copy for you guys. If anybody wants a copy of it, I would suggest contacting either the city of Lake Forest or the village of Lake Bluff, since it is theirs, but they seem to be at least moving in the general direction of combining their departments. So that's at least interesting for anybody who cares. Update investigation contractual services, trustee Grum.
Well, as we mentioned at the last meeting, is that there was a proposal out there. I don't think any of us had time to really look at it, but since last meeting, I think we all have had time to look at it. I did meet with the chief from Lake Forest and Libertyville to discuss it, and based on what I read and what we talked about, I personally find the contract or the proposal unacceptable.
All three of the trustees were asked to and met with Lake Forest and Libertyville's chiefs. I as well went out and sat with them and kind of went through the math, and I just don't know how they get to that dollar amount. I don't think it's a good proposal. It's way too much money, and I indicated that to them, that we would still be interested in discussing things with either and or both. The door is always open to work together, whether contractually or on anything. But the proposal that was submitted to us was in excess of $500,000 a year, and that's just, I don't see the cost savings. And as I mentioned to them, if you use what I call landscaper math, and you take the number of calls that we have, which is 250 roughly, that's under a call a day, I don't see where there's $500,000 in overhead in picking up one call a day. Carl, you have any comments about your meeting with the chiefs?
Yeah, pretty much went along the same lines. Obviously, the first thing, as I looked at it, the price was just really, seemed to be kind of a non-starter. There were a number of, and as I said, it was a very early proposal. There's some tricky bits that would really have to be worked out, too, in terms of how ambulance billing would be handled, and a few other things along those lines. But in my discussion with him too, I also said, that while our primary concern has to be, directly for our district, Lake Bluff is part of the equation. First of all, 40% of our district is actually in the village, and so we have to take that into consideration. But so there were some things in the proposal too where they talked about what might happen to the station that kind of alluded to that they might be working with Lake Bluff to do something. As I just had, I've just seen it, took a quick look at it.
Yeah, I got it about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
I think that the nature of this proposal will probably change quite a bit depending on how this one goes. So right now, it's just stand back and wait and
Yeah,
see.
the interesting thing, and I literally looked it over while I was getting ready for the meeting, the one or the most interesting thing in this proposal from Lake Forest to Lake Bluff is when you get to the cost.
Mhm.
And the cost is to be determined.
Yeah.
So they're not disclosing their dollars and cents of this. But, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, but the thing that caught my eye, and really, I just quickly,
I know.
was staffing. How are they going to do staffing?
Right.
And just what it looked like real quickly was they plan to put staff in that station or this station.
Right.
So that changes everything in terms of this original proposal.
Right. Well, I've indicated to the chiefs that, we are here, this board is here, we're willing to listen, we're willing to talk in an ongoing manner. If something comes up that we as a board feel is beneficial to the residents of this community, then we'll take the next step forward and continue to work on things. But this particular proposal, in my eyes, can be put in the file, and it's just way too much money for me to consider approving. All right, does anybody else have any more comments on that? Okay. Either one of you fine gentlemen have any non-agenda items, or John, do you have any non-agenda items?
I do not.
Nope. Okay, we have no nominations, terminations, or resignations that I'm aware of. John is not here. So, with that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:52 p.m.?
I will so move.
Second. Motion by Snowman, second by Grum. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Interesting to read this.